There's a transparent pyro orange as well.
Oh my goodness.
Gonna see that in just a second.
There sure is. I worked so hard today to get it transparent. Well, regular pyro orange. It's a great color for pumpkins.
Okay. So start with that. Hands a yellow deep. Have you ever, any of you tried out that foam? I think it that was being used last week on the demo. I thought that was interesting. Instead of paper, I think I might try that because I go through a lot of paper. Okay, so that's hands a yellow deep. Hands a yellow deep.
You can also try using just a cotton rag instead of paper towels.
That's a good idea too. I'm gonna try that too. So this is the Cobalt blue Chromium. That is the transparent pyro orange, Gabriel. So Caroline says the international borders are opening for Australia. Fantastic. You guys been locked down for a long time. That must be really, that's really good news. This is French ultramarine. This is cobalt from the violet. Here in front of me, it really is violet. I see on the screen, it kind of looks kind of bluish, but it actually it's violet in front of me. So Carol says a sock with a toe cut out and placed on the wrist works well. Oh, that's a good idea, especially for plenty hair. And then Lisa says sweat.
Oh, I can't even turn it off here. There we go. These all the people here.
Okay, that is sap green. That's indigo. Put some So you can see it. It's one color. So that is indigo. I love the mask. Someone's ready for Halloween. Last one. Some extra water in that one. So you kind of see that one is Lunar Black. So Lunar Black. Okay. So one of the neat things, and I've done this quite a few times, are there any of those you'd like to see mixed?
Yes, can you mix the transparent pyro orange with the lunar black?
Absolutely. This is Hands of Yellow Deep. Hands of Yellow Deep. And I'll do it. And I'll do it with the
And if you could spray it, please. That's pretty.
So Lunar has it's that really cool effect in that it's not like a black that would overpower the other color. It wants to move away. So you can actually see the yellow right through the Lunar Black, which is kind of interesting. I should try that with.
We can try it with the sap green, but the lunar black, can you use the stick? A wet stick with the sap green?
Sap green and lunar black.
Yeah. Yes, please.
So this is. Sap green.
So rich. Thank you, John.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, it's kind of easy to just play with that. The particles of lunar black. Cobalt from violet, hands a yellow deep. Okay. Cobalt blue violet. So read about cobalt blue violet, and then hands a yellow deep. Might not be enough. Get what you wanted. So that's the cobalt blue violet and some hands a yellow deep.
That makes a lovely gray.
Hello, Victoria. Hello, Tess. Late night from Belarus. Oh, the paper is the. It's right here. It's the Stonehenge. 140-pound cold press. I took the last 5 pads out of our store. Last. Paul's last two colors.
Same question, John. Are you getting much rain there?
Yeah, yes, it's actually been really quite good. So we came out of our, I think the last 3 months, we came out of our kind of our drought, if you will. Here in Seattle, it can be wet, but it's not like California or Florida where you have real rain that you go outside and you get soaked. Ours is kind of like a perpetual kind of sprinkle. So you won't see many umbrellas or things like that. So when it comes down really hard, it's kind of out of the ordinary.
So do you constantly carry an umbrella around with you, or you just take
Never carry one. No. Again, it's more of a sprinkle than a real, go outside and get soaked. And if you live here, you kind of like the sound of the rain and the water. Okay, so last two on Paul's palette are the transparent brown oxide. It's kind of a pretty color. And the permanent alizarin crimson. So Joyce said, you don't sunburn, you rust. Yes. So we'll go to the color on to focus. Let me get one more color on there. So transparent brown oxide. So the permanent alizarin crimson. Now it should focus. Yeah, there we go.
Can we see those two colors mixed with the French ultramarine?
Absolutely.
Usually I would use a French ultramarine, a alizarin crimson, and burnt sienna. So I'm just curious.
Sure. We're going to mix them together in this well or in the paper.
Yeah, in the well, that'd be great.
You want it washed down with water or?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Right. Because that ultramarine's in there, so it's gonna start granulating.
With excess water, absolutely.
Thank you, that's lovely.
Pleasure. So, Reba asks, are the colors other than sap green and indigo single pigment? Cerulean blue chromium is PB36. Cobalt blue violet is PB28, pigment blue number 28, and PB19. French ultramarine, single pigment, PB29. Hansa yellow medium, single pigment, pigment yellow 97. Indigo is pigment black 60, pigment blue 60, and pigment black 6. So PB 60 and PBK 6. Lunar black is PBK 11, single pigment. Sap green is pigment orange 48, pigment yellow 150, and pigment green number 7. Transparent brown oxide is one pigment. It's pigment red 101, PR 101. And transparent pyrrole orange is a single pigment, pigment orange number 71. Certainly 3 colors. So Caroline says 3 colors always make my 3 colors in my hand. Right? Although I think this is actually kind of fun. It's almost like a pseudo moon glow, but it has more red to it. Interesting. So why don't we try sticks? So I asked my staff in manufacturing, what do they like? What do they like the most? One, there's always a hum of machines, which I always find extremely, I love the sound of machines working. And they see color all day long. So they get to see all the, there's 5 mills working. So there's 5 different colors all the time. There's different colors inside of the mixer. So it's kind of a rainbow of colors out there all day long. And here, as looking out the window, it's kind of typical Seattle weather. It's kind of overcast with rain. So, which I kind of like. So this is permanent. This is permanent alizarin crimson. Sticks. So there's different ways. I know you've seen different ways. You've seen Rajat hold them in his fingers. Giovanni takes it off the tip of a brush. Angus McEwen does it another way. So it's really kind of whatever you want the stick to be for you. You do real fine lines. You can go into something else and do effects. So permanent alizarin crimson. So Carolyn says, have you used the new Ytterman museum. It's the combination of this color, which was developed in Oregon. Haven't used it yet. Have certainly turned it into a paint. I showed that some months ago. That's kind of what it looks like. We play with them all. We don't always bring them all out. Try to have a certain number before I bring them out. That way stores don't have to redo all of their displays because it's a lot of work to do that. There you go. It's a very pretty color. Can't see that, can you? See that? Understand my hands. It's a nice blue color, and it is very soft. This right here? No, this was a mix that Gabriel had asked about. So it's the those are permanent with the transparent with French
ultramarine. Can you spray that gorgeous blue you just laid down?
This just for such occasions. So absolutely.
Did you bring your blow dryer from home?
No, I'm not there yet.
Getting close. Look at that. Just dazzles. Dances on the paper.
You're very welcome, Shelley. Okay. So I kind of like this one. I'm going to put this one in and see if you can guess what it is. I know you'll guess what it is. Try not to hit the unless you're cruising with it. It's hitting the water that I sprayed. Any ideas? You want a hint? In 1st through 12th grade, you use this stuff a lot. Every time you wrote. It was usually in a yellow piece of wood.
Graphite gray.
It's graphite. Graphite gray.
I think my eye was leaning more towards green because that little bit of red right there.
Oh, it touched it right here?
Yeah, if I had that little thing of red was making me see green.
Oh, look at this. So now it's kind of starting to dry.
Is graphite gray a description of the hue, or is it a description of the pigment that's used?
That pigment's used. The manufacturer may have called that because of the hue. So graphite gray is pigment black number 10. And so the rule that we have is if it's a single pigment, then we use the name of the person that made it. So you kind of pay homage to the creator of the color. You know, if it's isodynamine yellow, which is kind of a mouthful, it's because it's a single pigment that was created by a company. So we use their name. This one is super, super popular. Take some of the color off it. Oh, man. My office is leaking.
Buff titanium.
Buff titanium, that is correct, it's buff titanium. Let's see.
John, your camera is,
Yes.
okay, there you go.
So that's the buff titanium. That's the buff titanium with some of the French ultramarine.
Can I see the buff titanium with the moon glow?
Absolutely. With moon glow, yep. So the buff titanium is the pigment white number 6 to :1. PW6 is titanium white, and PW6 is also you said moon glow?
Yes, please. When will Daniel Smith have a Chinese white
We
stick?
have Chinese white.
Oh, we do. We have a
Well, we
titanium
have-
Chinese.
We have titanium white. Gosh, it's titanium white is buff titanium. Yeah, 15 mil and 5 mil for the Chinese white. So James has a question. How would you explain the difference between zinc, titanium, and Chinese white? So part of that, I think the artist watching could answer from a what it looks like perspective. Titanium white and Chinese white, in terms of a C lab, are very, very close to each other. I mean, extremely close to each other. The Chinese white is said to be warmer than the titanium white. And I don't have the zinc white to show you. Okay, any of you answer that from an artist standpoint, from a so this is the moon glow. So the PW6 color one is the buff titanium. PW6 is the titanium white. Besnick says he always uses Chinese white. Besnick, why do you use Chinese white versus titanium white? And you find, which one do you find warmer?
I use the Chinese white because it's a lot closer to my watercolor paper. And then with the titanium white being cooler, but I personally don't use the titanium white much unless I'm trying to create a cooler tint. But in watercolor, we save our whites, but there's times where we'll add something that just either breaks up a shape or a line with using the Chinese white, which it is a lot closer to the paper. I don't use a zinc white.
No zinc white. So flake white was used a lot within the oil colors at one time. We don't do it. And the reason we don't do it, and Anna Marie says it's hard and not used much, is because it would contain lead, and we don't use lead. So that's why you can't, if you find it, be from very rare sources. It's something that hasn't, been used for many years. For us, even when it comes to cadmiums, it's something I don't want my people to be around.
Now, oil painters, you'll see most of them now these days, they'll be using gloves. They'll use a high grade glove that's like a surgical glove or something. But yeah, I personally wouldn't use anything with lead. I remember painting those little lead figures like when I was a kid, and then they totally banned them for a while.
Yeah, it used to be popular in house paint and big Navy ships. Let's try something else. So someone was asking about undersea green. This is undersea green. Those Da Vinci brushes are really good, but boy, they love to suck up water. Why they're as good as they are, I guess. There we go. Undersea green.
Can we see that undersea green with that transparent pyrrole orange? Now there's a pyrrole orange stick, but it's not transparent. Is that correct?
Yeah, we just used it right here.
Yeah.
So this will be the transparent. And transparent with the
Undersea green. Yeah. Ooh.
Can you take a moment and spray it also?
oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Both. Okay. Well, tomorrow Paul Wang will be here. Paul Wang is, again, art educator, phenomenal artist, urban sketcher. So he's quick. I think any questions you have, he'll be able to answer them. You've seen his colors. He might use these colors. He can use any colors he likes. So he might have other ones that he wants to use. Bring this down. Thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate it. You make these days and weeks go by really quick in a very good way. So thank you for that. Anna, thank you, Angela, Elisa, Gabriel, Giovanni. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Great. Bye.
Take care. Goodbye.
Yeah.